Hello friends, all CDCS aspirants, trade finance professionals, bankers, all those or non-bankers also, all those who are dealing in trade finance, the session is for you. The topic is mistakes in invoices, BL or packing list that trigger immediate rejection. So these three documents I have combined. Why? Because these three are related to each other. Generally, the problems arise in these three because internally there are discrepancies between them. So that's why we'll study these topics. I won't say in details because see, in details in trade finance you can't study any topic, any subject. Whatever you study now, tomorrow something else might come out, isn't it? So we'll try to cover maximum of the discrepancies in a positive way. See, we won't point out the negative things. You do this, then rejection. You do that, then rejection. We'll point out in the sense that what should you do to avoid all these rejections. So before that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon. Don't miss this. Okay, let's start. Share it with your friends. Okay, let's build a community. Let's start with the invoices. Invoices should be issued by the beneficiary named in the credit, the seller. See, importantly remember, invoices should be issued by whom? Any invoice. Invoice should be issued by basically the seller. Now, there is an exception to this. There can be an exception where you can say transferable LC is there. There it can be a exception also, right? There are certain clauses to it. Transferable LC, Article 38, UCP 600. But other than that, almost in 99% cases issued by the seller, or if we call it exporter, be addressed to the applicant of the credit. Okay, so it should be addressed to the applicant. So it should be in the name of the applicant, consignee. Okay. Many a times what happens in LC, in the BL, the consignee name is bank, whereas in the invoice, the consignee name is applicant. Sometimes it happens. So what should you do? This will be pointed out as a discrepancy. What you should do is, if you want the buyer's name to be separate, you want it in the name of the buyer. So what you can do is, best way, make two separate columns. Buyer, separate name, consignee, separate name. Then it's okay, isn't it? Be signed by the beneficiary if required. See, the point over here is if required. Because the rule says that invoice need not be signed. Okay, invoice need not be signed. So it's not compulsory for any invoice to be signed. Okay. Include the description of goods as detailed in the credit. This is the most important point about invoices. I would always see, I'll give you two things. One is official, one is unofficial. See, official, unofficial. Officially, the UCP says that the goods description in the invoices should correspond to that of the credit. Correspond. So it says it can be that the goods description is not as given as it is in the credit. Somewhere here, there, some parts here and there, it can happen. This is official, but there are chances of getting an error over here. So unofficial way is, what you should do is, whatever is the goods GD given in the LC, copy it as it is, put it in the invoice. And then if you want to add something else, whatever you want, you can do it later. But put that same GD over here. This is unofficial, I am saying. Okay. Be issued in the stated number of originals, which must be marked original and copy. See, it depends now. If credit says that invoice in 3 copies, then 1 original and 2 copies. See, and understand this word. If the word invoice or any certificate comes first and copies word comes later, it means that you must issue first 1 original at least and remaining copies. or if it says that 3 copies of invoice, then it can be all photocopies. Okay. Include the price and unit prices if appropriate. Means it depends. If the goods description GD says that unit price should be included, it is included. State the amount payable which must not exceed the stated in the credit. Correct? The amount should never exceed that in the credit. Now there is an exception to this again. Okay, there is an exception to this. The exception is if the amount exceeds and if the negotiating bank writes in its covering letter that it has accepted or negotiated the documents only for that LC amount, then also it is agreed. Okay, this is the specific exception. But again, this is one-off case. 99% cases, this. Okay. Include the shipping terms. Okay, it must definitely include shipping terms, CIF, FOB, Incoterms basically. Or if anything, see, there can be other terms also, which the LC might require. So in that case, you have to mention it. If the GD says anything, you have to include those parts in the invoice also. Okay. So this was about the invoices. What you should do to avoid these errors so that the discrepancies and the rejections are lesser. Bill of lading. The correct shipper, okay, shipper means the earlier one, exporter, right, in the invoice. Consignee and notifier party must be shown. Very, very, very clear. Now about the notifier party, see, remaining two elements you will immediately, okay, you will understand that correct shipper means exporter, and if it's a transfer LC, then the agent in between or the original seller, means depends. And for that you will have to read article 38 separately. Consignee, to whom it is consigned to, that is also generally the issuing bank. But here the problem arises, notifier party. Kindly note, if the notifier party in the BL is the applicant, specifically I am talking applicant, then in that case, the address of that notifier party should be same as that of the address of the applicant. If the notifier party is the bank or anyone else other than applicant, then the addresses can change, communication details can change. But in applicant, it can't change at all. This was specifically for applicant. The carrying vessel and the ports of loading and discharge must be stated. The carrying vessel, port of loading, port of discharge, it must be stated, right? As per the LC. Very important. As per the LC. Okay? The place of receipt and place of delivery must be stated if different from port of loading or port of discharge. Now see this, place of receipt and place of delivery. This is if this is stated in the credit, if credit says, everything depends on what the credit says. Sometimes what happens, the credit asks for MTD, multimodal transport document, and the document presented is BL. So don't get confused, it's however named. Everything depends on the credit. If credit asks for MTD, you have to check that document as per the MTD article. If the credit asks for BL, you have to check that document as per the BL article. Nothing to do with the name given on that document. Okay? The goods description must be consistent with that shown on other documents. Okay? Now, place of receipt and place of delivery. We are discussing this point. This is for MTD. If BL is asked in the LC, then this has no meaning. Pay attention. If BL is asked in the LC, this has no meaning. Clear? If MTD is asked, then this has got the meaning, right? Then this is done. Any weights or measures must agree with those shown on other documents. Now see this, it shouldn't have internal inconsistencies. On BL you are saying 20 tons, on certificate of origin you are saying 19 tons, on invoice you are saying 17 tons. Internal discrepancy should not be there. Shipping marks and numbers and or container number must agree with those shown on other documents. Again, internal inconsistencies. Okay, it should never exist. it must state whether freight has to be paid or payable at destination, has been paid or to be paid at destination. So basically the Incoterms, FOB, CFR, CIF, whatever. That should be very clear and that should be as per the LC. The important part is that, see, everything is as per the credit. It must be dated on or before the last date for shipment specified in the credit. Right? Means if it says that shipment to be done before, let's say, XYZ date, then it should be before XYZ date. Before that date, you must see shipped on board date, either shipped on board or the issuance date. Now, for that, you'll have to read that article because there are two clauses in this: issuance date and shipped on board date. Okay? It must state the actual name of the carrier to or be signed as agents for the named carriers. See, one thing about BL is very important. Carrier's name should be identified at any case. In any case, carrier's name should be identified. You must know who's the carrier. Let it be signed by the carrier, let it be signed by the agent, let it be signed by the master. Anything, anyone. Carrier's name needs to be identified. If this goes, if this is faulty or this is having an error, then no excuse for that. Okay? If it's signed by the agent, then the named agent, okay, agent name should also be identified. If it's signed by the master, then master's name need not be there. Master's name need not be there. But if the agent is signing for the master, then the agent's name should be there. But master's name need not be there. Okay? Read the article properly. I have taken sessions on this. So many sessions I have taken on the same channel. Go through it. Okay? This is the smallest one, packing list. It has very less number of elements. Number one, having a good description of goods consistent with those of other documents. Internal inconsistency is not there. Have the details of the shipping marks and numbers consistent with the other documents. So internal inconsistencies should not be there. Okay? Even the weights and everything, so it should not be there. Any discrepancy within the other document. Because see, packing list is very simple document. It shows you where the goods are kept in a particular ship. That is known as packing list. Where ship is so big. It's like the train ticket. Suppose if I tell you that I'll be coming to your city, kindly receive me on the railway station. When the train comes, will you go running throughout the train? Where am I? This bogie, that bogie, that bogie. Will you go running like this? No. What will you do? You will ask me on phone only, sir, give me the bogie number and seat number. Simple. What does it mean? This is a packing list, isn't it? Instead of running throughout the train, you are going to specific bogie. Same thing is over here. In packing list, it's mentioned in which section of that ship are your goods kept. So you go there only and pick it up, isn't it? It's that simple. So now, before going everyone, the new batches of Adda247 for CDCS, all of you should definitely join. CDCS, you know the importance of the course. You know the fees. You know the fees are very high, to be frank. Means all of you know this. CDCS fees are huge. Okay? So before applying for the CDCS course, what I would suggest is you must first go through the course material. Then apply for the course because the fees is very huge as such. But you know the benefit of that also, right? So in CDCS course, look at it. You get mock test, recorded sessions of all the 5. We have live sessions also on Sundays, doubt sessions. So, and also we have separate groups, okay, WhatsApp groups. You can definitely message any doubt whenever you want. All the 5 elements are covered: UCP, ISP, ISBP, URR, EUCP, as well as this Incoterms, as well as the AML, anti-money laundering part. So all of them are covered. Join it ASAP. And immediate, now look at this, look at the fees part. Click on buy now. Remember the code which I will tell you. VISHAL, Vishal, SIR, Vishal sir, 50. Okay, look at this. Vishal sir 50, you'll get huge discount. Okay. So get it over here. Immediately join this using the code and you'll get 50% discount. Even if you want installments, okay, call on this number 919240023281. 919240023281 and you can join the courses. Subscribe to the channel right now. Okay. Bye everyone.